Hi, my name is Erica Nagy, and today we will be talking about the article Genetics-Based Methods for Agricultural Insect Pest Management. Insects worldwide are one of the most common pests for our agriculture and our crops. Recently, studies have shown that a lot of the chemically and biologically synthesized insecticides that we use, such as DDT or Bacillus thuringiensis, or BT for short, have actually shown a lot of failure in terms of pest management and pest control, so they're not very efficient in that sort of control. So scientists have been studying biological advancements to allow for pest management without the use of these inefficient insecticides. One of those forms of management is by genetically modifying certain species of fruit flies and moths that possess dominant traits for reproduction that can be repressed. And to repress these traits and genetically modify these insects, they use a specific laboratory diet that will basically change the genetic coding for reproduction, causing their reproduction to be lethal. So when they release these so-called sterile offspring into the environment, they go through intraspecific competition and they compete for mates with the fertile offspring. In the hopes that, the sterile offspring will kind of proliferate, and therefore reproduction within those pest populations will slow. So one of the biggest things that scientists look out for is the ratio of wild insects to these genetically modified insects that are present within the population. Because the big thing is the scientists don't want to kill off the population of wild type insects. So when they release these sterile offspring, they do it at a level that won't affect the levels of the wild type population, but that will still keep our crops safe. Another option to pest management that's biological as opposed to using insecticides is by genetically modifying the crops themselves to produce the BT toxin, I should say, not the botulinum toxin, so the Bacillus thuringiensis toxin. And therefore, insects that are susceptible to this toxin will die when they try to eat the crops and the agriculture that they are attacking, so to speak. So, of course, in this sense, scientists want to look out for resistance to the BT toxin. So generally, scientists believe that if they can find a healthy balance between BT plants and wild plants, or refuge plants as they would call them, then they would keep the populations of insects at a safe level for both the crops, as to not kill off the populations of these insects, but also it would protect the refuge plants without completely creating agriculture that is only possessing the BT toxin. So, at the end of the day, scientists believe that if they can find a balance of insects that are both susceptible to the BT toxin, but also possess these lethal reproduction traits, so they're effectively sterile, then they can protect our refuge plant population while also almost reversing the resistance to BT toxins. Ultimately, I think genetic modification in plants and in insects can be very useful in the environment. Of course, more studies should be done to ensure that there's no side effects that are severe within our populations and within the populations of our agriculture and our insects and our animals as well. But ultimately, I do believe in genetically modified organisms. I think that as long as there are no severe side effects, they should be deemed safe to use.